Welcome to the Wilderness Podcast. We're on episode 19. Today's January 18th, 2017. I'm Dills. Over there we got Deegan.
Hey guys, how's it going?
So, how's your week? What's going on with you?
Weather's been really messed up. I actually had school canceled. I haven't had that happen in a long
Snow
time.
day.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was awful though. Like everything. Oh,
I guess you're paying, so it kinda sucks.
So many car accidents actually.
No, what,
like,
really?
You know, we might actually hear sirens and stuff go off. We might have to cut that out.
Oh, still?
There was sirens like 30 minutes ago, maybe 40. Like,
well, no, I'm just wondering because where I live, it's like everything's like melted. It was raining earlier and shit.
yeah. I mean, I haven't really. I went out like at 10 today. Did a bunch of stuff. I haven't gone out since, but it was still pretty icy. But it's probably wet. It's probably super wet. So I don't know. I guess people might be speeding and stuff. But it was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
It was like yesterday was really bad too. I think there was like 40 minutes of constant sirens, and at one point I heard like 3 or 4 fire trucks coming, and then 3 or 4
they
like
crashed into each other. So
yeah, probably. Like it was just it was so ridiculous. But
yeah, that's nuts. I know how fucked up that can be though, because like probably 2 days ago I was working and it was pouring rain out. So I'm working outside, going between houses.
yeah,
And I'm walking outside. It's just rain, so I'm just walking, and then I'd go in for 40 minutes, do some work in a house, come out, go to the next house, and it would just be a coat of ice that kind of just froze. Like you just couldn't fucking walk.
yeah. You have to like
I
shuffle.
ate shit and like no, it's impossible. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
But
It's funny. After I mentioned like the sirens, I can hear them right now off in the distance.
oh really?
Yeah. But
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I don't know. Just watch like TV, schoolwork, and games. I've tried playing RS. I've maybe got like a couple hours of RS this week, not too much, but like the servers just keep going down. Like at least like today especially, I sat down for like 30 minutes and then they kept going down, and I was like, fuck it. And then also my internet's been going out quite a bit. I don't know why. It's gone out like 2 or 3 times this week for like an hour, and every time it went out, I was trying to play RS. So, I don't know, kind of frustrating, but whatever. But other than that, like,
sucks.
yeah, just TV. I started watching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
What are you watching? Because I know you watch a lot of shows. When you stayed over, you went through like 2 shows almost, right?
Yeah.
3% and OA or whatever it was.
Oh, God. Always. They're both not, I don't like those shows. Those are just like, I need something to watch. Just throw them on. Oh God, I really like. Yeah, don't watch those shows. But I don't know. Right now, I'm watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is like written by Larry David.
Yeah, so I love Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Seinfeld.
Yeah, he's like the main.
I've never really
character.
watched Curb Your Enthusiasm though. So how is it?
It's like the humor is very Seinfeld-esque. Like there's no laugh track and stuff, which is really nice. But it's the same humor with like.
fucking laugh tracks.
It's the same humor with like like an everyday issue kind of, but it gets kind of blown out of proportion, and it's like a big deal.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I
That's
mean?
interesting.
It's like the same type of show as Seinfeld. It's actually really good. It's super cringy. There's some really cringy moments. Like they try and make it cringy, but like there are just some parts where I actually had to pause it and go like to the bathroom and get water or something because it was just way too much for me. But other than that, It's Always Sunny. I'm rewatching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia because the new season and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that show. I heard it's good though.
Yeah, that's probably like my favorite comedy show. But
cool.
Yeah, that's all I'm watching right now.
Not bad. Let's see. I just started watching Sense8 a few days ago. Pretty good show. Some issues that, whatever. Some parts that make me cringe as well, I guess. But yeah, I've been watching that and Mr. D in The Office.
Nice. Haven't you seen The Office already?
I haven't watched the full show.
Oh.
I'd see episodes here and there, but I never sat down and watched it episode like through them all.
Yeah.
So I went and did that. And it's good.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess. So yeah, you didn't play too much RuneScape, did you?
A little bit, yeah, only a couple hours. I just did like Slayer here and there, and because the new Osbuddy came out and whatnot, so
Anything worth mentioning, I guess?
not really. No, just I got dragon tasks over and over again. I actually DC'd for like an hour at Brutal Black Dragons, and I'm like, well,
okay.
I'm gonna spawn a Lumbridge, and a bunch of my shit's gonna be gone permanently. And I came back and or start Falador, and I had a Ring of Life because I was gonna do KBD.
Okay.
And ended up, I literally geared up for KBD, and I went to do Brutal Black Dragons, and then I guess my Ring of Life saved me, so that was pretty nice. So then I just went and killed normal Black Dragons and Blues and shit. I got that afterwards, and yeah, I don't know. Nothing spectacular.
Cool.
Yeah, a little RS, some League of Legends, some H1Z1. I think that's it, though.
What I was doing this week was, for RuneScape, I didn't play too much, and that's just because I got a new phone.
Yeah.
And I ended up locking myself out of my account because I tried to switch the authenticator over. And I couldn't remember what email address I used for the account, and then none of the emails were showing up about the authenticator. So I was like, okay, maybe I didn't use this account. So it took me forever, and then eventually I spammed too many, and it locked me out.
Oh.
So that's shitty, but I got it up and running. I finally finished. Before I was doing construction, I had 25k planks that I had bought, and I wanted to aim for 90. And I finally blew through all those, and it got me from level 50 all the way to close to 78. So I'm 77, almost 78.
Oh, not bad.
That's not bad at all. And that was 10 mil I spent on it so far. So my estimation was 40 mil. So we'll see how that pans out, I guess.
Yeah. The experience is it feels exponential, so it's going to get pretty expensive at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, you kind of? I was actually gonna mention this last episode, but have you finished Life is Strange?
No, I never finished that game. I think I'm on episode 3 or something, and then maybe I either have to buy the next ones, and I didn't.
Yeah,
that's what I think happened. Or maybe they weren't out at the time.
I was gonna mention it a while ago, but I think around Christmas or something. Pretty much when I came back from your place, they had a sale every episode for $5. And normally it's $5,
nice.
well, $5.50 Canadian per episode. So I'm like, fuck it. Even if I don't like it, I'll get through episode 1, and then it's kind of got a bunch of episodes for free. And I actually just sat down and played the whole thing. I was addicted to it. It's so good.
That's a solid game. I picked it up because I was listening to a video game podcast called Giant Bomb.
Yeah.
They were talking about that game, and I just randomly checked it out because the game's about you're this teenage girl at a private school, right, for photography.
Yep.
And somehow you can kind of rewind time, so you're doing that to you can prevent things from happening.
Yep. It's a story-driven game.
Yeah. So I checked it out because they were talking about how great the game was, and it sounded odd, you're this teenage girl, and sometimes you're having to deal with the problems that would come along with being a teenage girl at a private school.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's if they're having fun playing that, then that game might actually be good, because that sounds kind of lame.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I checked it out, and it's just, how would you describe it? Just a story game?
Yeah, story-driven game. Your actions have consequences, and
yeah,
it's actually I guess now you mentioned there are some of the typical there's a little bit of teen drama, but it's kind of fucked up too at the same time. It's not she's gossiping. It's actually I guess bigger. I don't know.
Are you talking about the bullying parts?
Kind of. Well, I guess so. There's, I don't know. There's a lot more to it, and as you go on, you see all these things kind of spiral out of control. But well, I guess it's kind of expected. But actually, I have this one friend who is I just always call him a hipster or something, because if a game's popular, he'll always say it's a bad game and he hates it. Doesn't matter what game it is. He'll just say it's a bad.
He doesn't play any of the AAA games?
No, oh god, no. He plays Grail. If you don't know what Grail is, it's this. Think of it as Habbo Hotel meets Legend of Zelda, but people erotic roleplay on it. It's super fun. So it's kind of like Habbo Hotel. It's the game's completely dead, and everyone actually is probably on the spectrum. Like, he brought me in. He's like, yo, come on, just check it out, dude. It's a really sweet game. And I joined, and people were arguing.
Just an orgy going on?
No, they were like, it was just a shit show of people being like super stupid and shit, and like, oh, you're triggering me, but they're actually being serious. It was like Tumblr, but in action. Anyways, so he like I was like, oh man, yeah, I played a little bit of Life is Strange with my brothers. It kind of seemed cool. My one buddy's like, yeah, it's kind of a neat game. I'm thinking about getting it, and he like started going off on it's a shitty game and. Oh, it's a fucking social justice warrior game. Like, oh, it's all about feminism. And he kept going on how bad it was. And I was like...
I didn't get that vibe at all.
No, like it's literally him pulling shit out of his ass. Because he just doesn't like, it's a popular game, so he doesn't like it. And I guess because the main character is a girl. Not some katana warrior ninja guy. Not Naruto. Sure. I don't know.
A girl and her weapon's a camera?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But he was just like shitting on it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get it just to spite you. And I kind of did get it to spite him, but I also, know it's a good game. And then I like played it and it's like, how is this a feminist SJW game? Like, where do people, and I like tried Googling, trying to find out where the hell he got this opinion. And like, he just kind of made it up, but.
Oh, so okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, I never got it, that vibe. Like, the reason I say like I cringe at that Sense8 show is because there are parts where it's like, you can tell that there's kind of social justice warrior undertones, and they're kind of sometimes like they'll have like feminist parts or LGBTQWXYZ shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll have, and you're like, okay, that's fine. That that happens in real life. It's not a big deal. But then there's sometimes where they go out of their way to involve an SJW topic where you're just like, okay, that's kind of irrelevant. I don't know why you're bringing that. Doesn't like. You're going out of your way to kind of... Anyways, little rant there. Sorry. Back on with the Life is Strange. Did you finish playing it?
Oh, yeah, I finished it. Honestly, ending is, like, so good.
Oh, yeah?
Like,
cool.
Like, the whole last episode, I was pretty much like, what the fuck is going on? This is so weird. Like, I was... Like, I actually, like, had to stop at one point, because I was actually, like, mind-fucked. Not, like, big twists and stuff like that, mind-fucked, but, like, well, like, it was just, like, really weird what was going on in the game, and, like, I don't know, it was, like, super, like, I like it a lot, and, like, I heard there's gonna be a season 2, but I hope it's not continuing from where I left off. Yeah, because, like, they could end the game right there at episode 5, and I would have been happy. But, like... If they continue on, I'm not going to be as happy because I don't know what the hell is going to be next,
Okay, true.
Yeah.
I don't know how it ends, so...
Yeah, no, like, I'm trying to, like...
Input on it?
I'm trying to keep the whole story ambiguous, like, I don't know. Even if, like, you're interested and you don't have the game or anything, you can just, like, straight up watch a playthrough. I wouldn't watch, like, PewDiePie because he... Yeah, I was gonna say, like, my friend didn't want to buy the game. She just, like, went and watched PewDiePie, and she said it was really good, but he wouldn't stop talking, which is kind of expected, I guess. But if you find some, like, random playthrough, I mean, the guy, the person that's playing will probably make choices you disagree with, but, like, I think the end result, I feel like it kind of funnels you into the same type of result in the end. I guess. Okay. It's not like, the first decision you make at the beginning's like, it's not like there's 20 different alternate endings. I think there's just like, the one end. I don't know. It's really good, and it's something you can just watch on YouTube because it's pretty much like a story.
Yeah. I might play that. I might go back and finish that game.
Yeah.
They mentioned
it's actually like so good. It makes me want to get other like story-driven games like Hard Rain and stuff because I heard that's a good game as well.
Yeah, don't know much about it, but...
Yeah, I know nothing about it. I just know, like, it's a story-driven game, and you kind of just watch it as everything unfolds. And I was actually, like, super against that. I thought that was, like, super lazy. But, like, that, and then, I don't know if you've ever heard of Firewatch.
Oh, yeah, I've heard it from the same podcast. I heard that's a fairly good game.
I got that the day it came out, and, like, it's a really short game. It's, like, 3 hours of gameplay. Kind of cheesed me, because, like, from like minute 1 all the way up to the very end, I was so into the game. It was like oh my god, it's super interesting, and like the story's really good, and it's fun because you can also.
Wait, are you firefighter or some shit?
You're like on fire watch, right? So you work at like a national forest and you pretty much sit in one of those towers and you spot fires.
Okay.
That's kind of like what your job is in the game, but there's like a lot of story to it and stuff.
Is it pretty realistic, or are you like sitting up there and you're like, there's a fire, and then it goes out. Another fire popped up on the south.
No, it's like the game isn't...
Fire popped out 3 kilometers in the north.
The game isn't really based on you spotting fires. It's more of like, that's the reason why you're out there, and then like why you're communicating to like people. Like you. It's mainly you and one person talking the whole time. Like you and like command or whatever, the command center person, the person that works there.
Yeah.
And that's like the only real dialogue going between, like, you know, there's a little bit here and there, but you're like, I was super into it, and I got to the very end, and the ending of the game made no sense of like how it should have ended because of the decisions I made, and I went and looked it up, and they only made one ending. But it was a game that came off where it's like, it really should have like 4 endings, but I don't know. Like, I don't have that feeling with Life is Strange. I feel like everything kind of directs you in the right direction, and it's not like, you know, turn left or turn right, and then all of a sudden you end up at the same town. It's kind of like...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's good, though.
Cool. It's good,
yeah,
but...
my little tangent there.
No, it's pretty solid, because, yeah, that's a game I kind of forgot about until you started playing when you came over.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, as I was saying, though, I did get a new phone, and, yeah, anyways, sorry, I'm not really... I finished my RuneScape with finishing the construction, and now I'm doing Barrows, trying to get a Master Clue.
Oh, okay.
Because then I'm going to do the Master Clue. Not a Master Clue, sorry, an Elite Clue that I'm going to use, because then I can get a Master. And, okay, if you don't know, turn in one of each kind of clue, easy, medium, hard, elite, and you can turn it in for a Master Clue at a guy on Zaya, near the Hosidius house, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever the reward is, I'm going to use to buy some... I'm going to spend all the reward, and any of the rewards I get having to grind out stats I need for the clue or whatever. And I'm going to use that for construction, because that's what I did last time, and I ended up with 10 mil. That's only because, really, I had to get 83 Slayer, and I was at like 78 or something. So between getting that, and then I had to get like 70 Agility, a bunch of shit, I was able to accumulate some odd, 10 mil, yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
So that's where we ended. And I said before that I got like a new phone. I got the S7 Edge. I really probably shouldn't have, but I went there and I was like, put it on the credit card, man. I have unlimited money. Just put it on the fucking credit card. I'll deal with it.
I'll just cut it up. Debt's gone. Toss in the water. We're good.
Yeah. And I'll go get a new credit card. I'll go open up an account with a new bank.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, there's a lot of fucking solid games now for mobile phones.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do much like mobile gaming, but straight up, I started just, looking at some of the good games out right now, and then as I went down the rabbit hole, like straight up, people use it as like a main console. They get like, you can get controllers for it, and like with the emulators out, it is basically like a GameCube, or there's fucking Wii games you can play on mobile.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never been I've never been like the biggest fan of mobile gaming, because like, have you ever seen that picture of like how to make a successful mobile game, and it's like, it's the Clash of Clans, like that typical like warrior like growling at the screen, and there's like 50 fucking games, like some of the, like all the popular games have the exact same formula.
Exactly. So that's why I kind of stopped playing, because every game I played was like that, right?
Yeah.
But I started looking into it, and there's a lot of good games that are popular because they're nothing like that.
Yeah, like
for instance, there's a game called Battle of Polypia, and obviously they do need to make money, right?
Yep.
So by releasing a free app, they need to make money somehow. And Battle of Polypia is basically Civilization. If you've ever played that, it's a simpler version of it, but there's some pretty intense like strategy that comes with it, just because it's simplified.
Yeah.
There's still like, I don't know, the way you have to plan, it reminds me of chess a little bit.
Yeah.
And the way they make their money is that you get 4 free factions that you can play between. And if you want to do a giant game mode, you can play with all the factions you have unlocked, and then each other faction's like 99 cents, which honestly, I think it's pretty fair because I've been playing the 4 factions a lot, and like the only reason I'm starting to want to buy a little bit more is because I'm like, okay, well, I kind of want to increase how many people will be in a match. So I want to play against like 7.
Yeah.
But straight up, like I'm pretty satisfied with just the 4. So like, and like the game's solid, like well done. The amount of hours I've put into it, I would I would spend like probably $10 on a Steam game. The amount of hours I put on into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing that. There's a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card game that just came out. It's really fun, really well done, and like I'm worried it was gonna be like pay to win, sort of. Even though it obviously will be a little bit,
Yeah,
because you can just buy like card packs and shit. But I didn't want it like Hearthstone. It feels real, like you have to play it a lot to be able to grind out cards, card packs like consistently. But like with a Yu-Gi-Oh game, I've been playing it for like 3 days, and I've already unlocked maybe 100 packs or so.
Damn.
And like you get them, like you can obviously buy them with money too, but I don't really need to at all.
Yeah.
So the game's pretty solid. And lastly, I dropped money on Final Fantasy IX because they have it. Square Enix, the company that did Final Fantasy IX, made a port to the mobile phone, and it's pretty well done. Like it's not clunky at all. It's smooth. You know what I mean? It's very intuitive, I suppose.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So have you ever played any of the Final Fantasy games? Nine's a really good one. I enjoyed that one a lot. I'm playing that.
Is 9 with like Vive and stuff?
Yeah, Nine's with the little the Vivi, the mage, the black mage with the giant wizard hat.
Yeah, I never know what Final Fantasy that is. I just remember him. He's like my favorite character.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, he's pretty iconic for that game.
Yeah, like the only games I have on my phone actually are Pokemon Go, Hearthstone, Pocket Mortys, Fallout. Like the Fallout Shelter.
Wow,
that's
I haven't played Fallout in a while.
Oh, actually, I think I have Slither.io too, but like I don't play any games on my phone.
Yeah, which is okay. But like honestly, there are some solid games out there.
Yeah, I mean, I just find like it just kills the shit out of my battery, and it's like I don't.
Oh yeah, okay. Maybe it could depend on what you're playing, what type of game.
Yeah,
But like
I find like throughout let's say before I swapped to like part-time schooling when I was like doing like a normal day of school, I'd just leave like my apartment with a fully charged phone. I'd come home and I'd have like 10% left.
Oh really? I have that with my Samsung S4, but I guess I don't know if this is because it's brand new, but I was playing fucking Final Fantasy IX probably for like 2 hours today, and I listened to like a podcast throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
And like I came home and I had maybe like 15% left, which isn't that much. But like at the
you're
same
also
time,
playing games and stuff.
Yeah, I was watching YouTube videos when I'm like during lunch and shit or whatever, listening to music consistently.
Yeah, see that's the thing. Like, yeah, I'd have music pretty much going the whole time. Like since I pretty much got out of bed, I'd put on music on my phone, go shower and stuff to it. And I'd like read Reddit while I'm like on the bus or waiting for class to start. I'd just be on my phone. But like, yeah, I'd come home with like almost no battery. Sometimes my phone would just be dead, and then like I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I play games or something, like I won't even make it like halfway through the day.
But you gotta bring one of those portable charger things.
Yeah,
those battery packs. Cool. So I guess let's just jump right into it.
Yep.
So for news, let's start off fucking third party, will we? Osbuddy got a little bit of an update, and the only reason I want to talk about it is because I always wanted the HD feature to kind of come back like it did back in, 2010 or some shit?
Yep.
I don't remember. I loved when the HD graphics were released. I'm not a fan of how RS3 looks. It's a little bit too... the game does look actually pretty good with the new NXT client, but I'm not really a fan of the character models, and it's good in its own way, but not for RuneScape. That's not what I want for RuneScape. But HD was perfect.
Yeah.
So Osbuddy, if you have Pro now, they released kind of like an HD... I don't know, a little bit of an HD update, and it looks really nice, and they say this is just the beginning of it. So they actually added a skybox as well, so it's not a black sky, it's blue there's actually clouds and shit too.
Yeah, it's pretty... Pretty nice little touch.
I think that's fucking huge. Like, that's my problem. Is RuneScape it's a really fun game, but it's hard for people to take it seriously and actually appreciate it who don't really play it because of the way it looks.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like this is a step in the right direction. So I know it's controversial. Some people fucking hate like the update, like HD graphics and shit. But
yeah,
I don't know. What do you think? What do you like?
The one thing that's
we had a friend, our friend who would duel and shit, and I remember when I told him, he was like, "Dude, I would fucking hate that." He's like, "I don't want anything to happen to the graphics."
Yeah, I don't know. Like I've never really cared for graphics unless it's like the like focal point of the game. If like they like advertise the game as like, man, this game's gonna have like, you know, top line. Like I never care about the graphics. They could turn that shit into like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like CS:GO, or I guess CS:GO's not even good graphics, but like some sort of like Battlefield 1 or something with like really good graphics and like just up RuneScape to make it look like Chivalry, but you click. Like I wouldn't really care. Like, or they could always just keep it the same forever. Like I don't really care. Like the things I do like are like the options to zoom out even further.
Yeah.
Like I like that a lot. How you can zoom out really, really far, and like the fact you can see like there was a thing on like the subreddit, I don't know if it was today or yesterday or something, but it was like the panoramas and stuff, and it was GIFs of people, of this guy like going to random places and just doing a panoramic view, like, you know, spinning in a circle.
Okay.
With like the news zoomed out, and you're kind of like that look like, that's what I like the nice zoomed out. You can see the town instead of like two buildings. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it just cuts off with blackness.
Like, yeah, blackness, like that doesn't really bug me, but like it was the fact that you couldn't really zoom out too far. Like if you think about like how big like Varrock is or something, but you can only see like the bank and like the eastern bank of the training dummies, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like now you can zoom out and you can see way more of the town.
Dude, remember like only a few years ago, this game, you were confined to a fucking small square to play the game.
Yeah.
You couldn't zoom out or anything.
I hated it.
Like, you couldn't full screen. I don't think you could ever fully see Jad. It was probably, like, close to impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember that was a big problem I'd have, is, like, you could, like, see, like, half of him.
Yeah.
But I might just be thinking it wrong. Like, I can't even imagine going back. I don't think I'd play RuneScape if they, like, oh shit, something happened and you're confined to a small screen again. I don't know. I think that would be such an issue for me.
Yeah, the fact that
the biggest problem, looking at the fucking bank, because I've tried that, like playing on like 20 accounts at once. I can't navigate my bank for shit because everything's just skewed.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I so far I like the graphics update and like, or the big update, I guess, and it's nice that. I forget what they did, but it used to render on like your GPU or something. Like Osbuddy used to like run off your GPU instead of your video card, which is like,
I think RuneScape in general, right?
I don't know if RuneScape does, because, you know, originally it's like a browser game, so
I don't know.
So it probably does just go up your GPU, but I don't know. Like Osbuddy used to lag pretty hard for me randomly too. Like I'd have to close it and reopen it. And, like my computer's like pretty decent. Like I play everything on max graphics, you know, and I get way above 100, or, yeah, most games I get way above 100 FPS, but I get, you know, 120 minimum on most games, but for some reason, like, RuneScape, I would go down to 20 FPS for sometimes, and I just never, I don't know, can never figure out how to fix it, but now, like, I haven't, like, that being said, I haven't had too much time to actually play the friggin' servers, but yeah, it's been smooth since, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty cool to see that Osbuddy update. So yeah, it's a third-party update. It's no, I don't believe RuneScape or Jagex endorses them at all, anything like that. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
So the next part, do you want to talk about this? Because this thing has some pretty big changes. Deadman mode.
Yeah, I think we should definitely dig into it.
All right, you want to lead this one?
Yeah, I'll start her off. So they're doing a big overhaul of Deadman mode, And I think we like the community, like we have pretty much had an episode dedicated to it. But there's been like a lot of things that they've had to change, and they've pretty much gone and made like a lot of big changes. So one of them I think is kind of like out of left field was like now you're able to claim your victim's experience. So the way it works, let's say you fish a crap ton and you end up getting like 1 million fishing experience and you don't protect it, and I kill you, I'll get like an experience lamp that will give me like 25% of your experience in it. So like, I guess in other words, like your highest protected stat, I would get 25% of that experience in. So it's kind of a nice little bonus to kill people. It kind of gives you more incentive to go out and kill people, because now you're going to be stealing their experience. And I think the big thing is that it gives you more incentive to kill higher levels, because they're going to have, they're not going to be protecting defense or prayer or something, they're going to have some random stat that's going to be good, and it's going to be a pretty high, level besides these level 3 guys that just fish and Catherby. They're going to have fishing protected, right? So you won't get any experience from them. So what do you think about this?
That's pretty cool. To be honest, like it doesn't really matter too much to me, because you did lose experience before. Now it just seems like it's just transferring a little bit of it over to the killer. For the most part, I was a victim in that game. So like I said, I'm like, it's not. That's pretty cool. I don't really have an opinion on whether I think it's good or bad, though. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's cool. Like it's cool to see.
In my opinion, the one thing that really killed Deadman mode for me was I'd go out on I'd get 5 keys or something, and I'd go and turn it in, and everybody muled. Like I think I said this before.
True.
I think in total, probably a bit of an exaggeration, I probably killed like 18 or 20 people, like over all Deadman modes, and even like the normal one, but most of them, like all in every seasonal, there was one person I can remember that wasn't muling, and he was like a level 14 killing chickens, and I was just being a dick.
Yeah.
I was just being a dick, and I'm like, I need my last key, and like I bop him, and like that was it. And he's like, oh dude, why? And I'm like, sorry, I need my keys. I want to finish with 5. And then like everyone mules, and you're like, that was such a waste. Like that was such a waste of 30 minutes of sitting at the south of Port Sarum. Like, what the hell? And so now at least I can be like, well, I guess I got, 100k in total experience and random stats that I don't really level. But it's nice to, at least have that. So I don't know. I think it's a nice addition.
Cool. Yeah, it's glad to see. Yeah, it would suck to see them all muling.
Yeah.
Let's hear about the next one.
Yeah, so the next one is, I think it's pretty big. So what they'll have is after the first week of Deadman mode, you'll have every single quest completed, but you don't get the rewards. So you don't get like the experience or the items or stuff from doing the quests. So it kind of gives you incentive to do them during the first week, I guess. But yeah, so if there's quests you really can't be bothered to do, and you just, but you have to do them, you can just wait a week and, every single quest will be done, which would be pretty nice.
Fucking huge. That one is, to me, that's a game changer. Because,
but
I don't have that much time, and half the time I can't be bothered to come home from work and spend it doing a quest that I may or may not even finish.
Yeah, exactly.
That I've done before, probably 4 fucking times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that right there, I find that's huge.
But, I actually saw this before we started the podcast. What happens if I don't do Druidic Ritual and a week goes by? Does that mean I can never do Herblore again, or I'm going to have to boost to train it?
No, I'm sure they'll give you, you know what I mean? They'll probably...
But, that's part of, you unlock it because you get experience in it. You get enough to get to level 3, and if you don't get the rewards for not completing it, for waiting a week and getting the free completions, then, is that... are we boned?
They might give you a boost for it, though. I don't know.
Yeah, they might just throw you a bone for that. I have no idea, though. But after a week, if you haven't leveled up, or if you haven't done Druidic Ritual, then it's kind of that's your shoe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
That's one of the quests that I probably wouldn't be bothered to do.
Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing.
The problem.
I guess they tested this time, about locking quests and whatnot, having all the content locked. But now they're going in the exact opposite way to try it out. As in, Like here, everyone gets it now.
Yeah, so that'll be good to see. I imagine they're going to settle in between afterwards, where they're going to lock certain things every season and then
Yeah.
release other ones. But
Yeah, maybe like, yeah, exactly.
so that's huge. I'm going to put that one as my favorite so far, my favorite change out of the two I've heard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this actually kind of what we were just talking about is so they're still locking content and they're removing stuff and whatnot. So like they're removing or access to the lava dragons, which is like thank God, because lava dragons were super broken. And I believe yeah. So it says they're locking the ancient spell book and barrows for the first week. So I guess it'll all kind of just come unlocked. You can't rush desert treasure and still barrage people in day 2. Everyone,
So, yeah, everyone will.
everyone can barrage at the same time as long as you have like the right magic level and whatnot. So that's pretty nice. What do you think about that?
That's pretty cool. I'm glad. I wanted to see certain things locked, and like I said, I've said it in the previous ones. Yeah, one thing that would be interesting to see is each season taking things out, maybe adding things in. One season you take away ancients completely, just to see how it plays out when no one's allowed. This way, the strategies don't get to be cookie cutter.
Yep.
Each season will be quite different. So this is kind of cool. I do like that, and yeah. Quickly, do you want to explain them? Like, do you know why lava dragons were OP?
So the big thing was prayer bonus experience. So when you would bury lava dragon bones, they gave you a crap ton of experience, and I don't know if you needed a requirement for it, but if you buried them in that area, you got an added extra experience just in general. I don't know if you need
Yeah, is it doubled?
Something like that. Like, I don't know if you need to do a certain diary or something, but like regardless, the bones itself gave you really good experience, and you can safe spot them. And they're weak to magic, so you can get 9 magic in 2 seconds, and then you fire strike them, and you just protect magic and you protect prayer, and 5 like 5 or 5 minutes goes by, you have 2 or 3 kills, and that's a crap ton of experience, like over 500 experience per bone, I believe.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so. And then also their drops on top of that were pretty good. And you needed their scales for something. I forget what you needed the scales for. Like some potions. Anti-fire or something. I forget, but...
True, okay.
Yeah, they're super broken, and they're really easy to lock down. So clans could control them pretty...
Yeah.
Like, once you got there, like, yeah, you were pretty much set.
Cool.
Yeah, and, so it's good. It's funny, like, we were kind of talking about how they needed to take that out or something like that. I believe we were. I don't know if it was on an episode, but I remember...
You might have mentioned it, because I was like... I know about lava dragons, because you said that was the strategy you were going to rush to do.
Yeah.
And I knew that other people rushed to do it.
Yeah, because it was...
I wasn't sure how good. I never actually did. I still haven't done it, so... I guess I never will. Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point. It's gone, so that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so other than that, they're now taking like a completely different approach to the fog. There's no more fog anymore.
Okay, so this is for the tournament.
Yeah. Sorry, this is for the invitational tournament. And what they're gonna be doing is they're gonna be removing like chunks of the map at a time. So
okay, cool.
I don't really know an analogy for it, but yeah, it's going to be kind of like, just kind of shrinking the map. And what they'll do is they'll tell you, like, this area is going to be gone or something like that. And they're going to be telling you to go to like a specific location to be the safe spot. So they've already said that Anna Carl will be the final area for this Deadman Invitational. It's like in the wilderness. So they're going to be able to like easily convey, wilderness level 17 and everything else, under it is going to be gone. Yeah. So get to 18 and above, like they have a good way of shrinking down the map like that. And it's, people.
Where does Anna Carl teleport you to?
I think it was, I want to say it was the episode Wooks one. You know what I mean? Like not the episode, the season or whatever. I believe that's Anna Carl. I might be wrong.
Anna Coral's okay, so it's what I thought it was. It's the demonic runes, 47 wilderness.
Yeah, I think
it's the only place you can kill the greater demons in free to play.
So it's gonna be in the wilderness. They're gonna, test out this new fog or anti-fog mechanic, I guess. This parts of the map going away. So I think that's like, what do you feel about that?
Yeah. I hope it works better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this could be just as bad as the fog if it's not carried out, if not executed properly. And the problem with the fog, I feel, is it was never executed properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the whole switching it to just chopping off map areas is going to be the biggest fix. They need to actually, like, they almost had it last time, but they fucking told where the last spot would be. And then they also had the two, the portal, right? They had to kind of step through.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? Like, the whole chopping down parts of the map is good, but the only problem is what if they don't give them enough time to run out? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, like now they're gonna be saying like, this like it's not like, all right, so Fowler's gonna be gone in 5, 4, 3, 2, and you're gone. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna give you like
exactly.
a couple minutes to get out. So like I
cool.
don't know. I feel
hopefully it works out.
I feel it's kind of a cop out because the fog is kind of iconic to like these types of like game, like this type of play style, like this kind of last man standing type. Like the fog has always been that thing to like, and like a bunch of different games too, right? Not just RuneScape. That's like the one feature that's pretty consistent. But
yeah,
also though on like their behalf, it's kind of like I get how hard would it be to like actually manage the damage? You know what I mean? Like how do you figure out the perfect amount of damage? Because I feel like if it's like, I don't feel like this is like, now that I think about it, like I'm not sure if there's an actual middle ground of the fog. Like,
I feel like there easily could be. It's just each time it did not enough damage or did too much damage too fast. I feel like the last one when it started doing a lot of damage, like one hitting people, like they were getting hit so hard because it was going up by like 3 damage every tick.
Yep.
If they lessen that, not every tick, maybe every 10th tick, increase it by 5 or something like that. Like, I feel like that's how you do it. But the way they had it was like they just got fucking, you got melted because it was just way too damaged, way too fast.
Mm-hmm.
If you just slowed it down a little bit, then people would know, all right, I probably don't want to sit here and take 30s or like sit here and take consistently 15s and 17s and shit or whatever the fuck it is, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I just felt that like
whatever.
When they were like when the fog wasn't that like when it wasn't overpowered, people were just tanking it, and like that.
But I mean, like, which is okay if they tank it, but just have it like, okay, well, and in the next 10 seconds, now you're gonna get one hit.
Yeah, like every game,
which is it's a ton of enough time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've played like a lot of different battle royale games and stuff, like H1Z1 and like The Calling and all those types of games. And you can tank the fog pretty easily in all those games. But the only thing is that like you're always going to be limited on healing supplies, especially for, in those games. But like RuneScape, when you're limited, it's because you didn't prepare enough. Like you could have 3,000 lobsters or like 2K sharks if you prepared and had your game plan and executed it correctly. Like you can, if you tank it, you could actually tank it for hours and hours if you had it done. Like how long do you think Wooks could have tanked that fog if they like sat down and let him?
Yeah, but that's they weren't taking into account that you could unnote. They didn't want people unnoting it, so they closed off banks, and then you know what I mean. There were still places you could unnote them, so that's what I'm saying. Like, and the thing is, Wooks was there for how long? Like, eventually let it one hit them. Don't let them sit there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, don't let it go from hitting you 5% of your damage to hitting you 75% of your... hitting you 5% of your health to hitting you 75% of your health within 3 seconds, right?
Yeah.
No one could prepare for that, so...
Yeah, like the thing is though, is like I kind of like what they're trying something new, which I like. Like, you don't really see games where the map literally is like gone and you go there anymore. Like, it's kind of, instead of slowly being faded in, because the worst is when you're playing these games and like you get people that hump the fog, like they literally just sit on the edge, and people do that in Deadman mode and stuff. And it's like, it's the least fun thing to play against, especially if you don't do that type of a thing, because you're just kind of sitting there waiting in the middle, and you're like, it's just you and me, man, or, there's 4 of us, and everyone's humping different edges of the fog, and you're like, all right, like, I'm gonna go join these guys and just sit at the edge of the fog, because, like, and then, it gets to a point where you're like, you literally can't, right? Like, that's really boring. I like how, like, I think this could actually play out really well, where it's like, everyone's kind of they're gonna be forced to fight each other, and it's gonna be pretty neat. I don't know. Cool. I hope.
Yeah,
I hope
we'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah,
the rest have been a shit fest, so hopefully this one's a lot better.
And that being said,
at this point, I'll take anything.
Sorry, go.
Fucking release a bunch of cows that will fucking hit 1 million damage. I don't care.
But like, yeah. That being said, the last thing on the seasonal blog, the overhaul of Deadman mode, is now they're gonna have final hour betas.
Finally. So it's huge.
Yeah, thank God. One of our suggestions.
Anything that doesn't work out, we'll fucking know.
Yeah, maybe they'll just bring back
Literally,
the fog.
you could have just kept it how it was last time and just added the beta.
Yeah. And, but yeah, that being said, there's gonna be 2,000 people that are gonna be invited to the beta, I guess, are gonna be thrown in. And they'll be testing the last hour, and they'll probably have multiple different, beta tests, and they're gonna give out the details of when and who and what and where and all that stuff at a later date. So TBD, I guess.
Cool. Well, yeah. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to get in. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be pretty neat.
All right. I guess I'll take over and talk about the poll system, because it was a little change that they suggested, I suppose. So yeah, currently as it stands, they pull basically all of their major updates, except for things like temporary fixes and bug fixes, I believe. Which I agree with. Even some of the smaller ones, if they know it's for the better of the game, such as when splashing at NMZ was a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shouldn't have been pulled or anything like that. Anyways, yeah, you need 75% to get for the vote to pass, which is awesome, because then quality updates that everyone can agree upon for the most part will get passed. But the problem being right now is that there are certain updates that certain parts of the community are unable to get passed because of just the way, probably 75% of the community doesn't play in that particular part of the game, so they're just going to vote no or whatever, because maybe they don't want Jagex spending resources on that part of the game that they're never going to play, or maybe they don't want, I don't know. Which is basically the examples they gave were Pures and Iron Men. And I might go as far as say even just PKers versus PVMers, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they want to make it a little bit easier for them, which I kind of agree with, right? Because there's a few things I've seen pass. I mean, not seen fail for like no reason, which I could never wrap my head around. I can't give any examples off the top of my head, but so some of the ideas is they might limit certain questions to people who are playing that part of the game. So let's say Iron Men. So if we're not playing Iron Men, we wouldn't get a question on the poll about an Iron Man update, but if you're playing as an Iron Man or whatever, you can pull that. So that's pretty cool, but I don't know how that's going to work for Pures and shit like that, right?
Yeah, I'm not too sure on how they're going to be. I don't know, but it's kind of neat. I like that.
Yeah, these are just ideas, right? So another one they have is maybe reducing the level of support, maybe from like 75 to 70 for certain parts of it. Because there are times where you've seen like votes getting like 73% and then they fail. And like, you obviously can't let that pass because you guys set the standard.
Yeah.
At the same time, in my head, I can easily justify like, oh, come on, that's a perfectly sound update that, basically 3/4 of the people want. You're missing like, 5 people's votes, but can't have that because, you know what I mean?
Yeah, then, oh, well, last time it was 73, and now it's 71, and now it's,
Yeah, and then you just start a whole problem. So it has to be 75, bam.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing else. So yeah, think of reducing it a bit to 70, which for the most part I agree upon depending on what it is, right?
Yeah.
These are just the ideas. They're encouraging. If you have any, just suggest them as well. I don't have any. So a few more changes they did were, these are further plans they're going to be doing to change, but these are not really about the smaller community parts. It's more on lines of, well, let's say them. You can change your vote possibly after you voted. Concealing poll results until the poll has ended, so maybe, you won't get swayed by the result, you know what I mean, by looking at the percentages beforehand. They say that the only problem is that third-party programs can still kind of estimate polls based on what their users are using, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
So again, just ideas and stuff, but cool. I'm glad they're still working on the polls because that's important in keeping the longevity of this game. And, sometimes, they need tweaking, right? I've seen some problems with the polls just the way they were in the past.
Yeah.
A little too simplistic.
Yeah, I think just the main problem with the polling is that they can't really go too in detail just the way they have the system set up.
For the most part, yeah.
But, they need to be more... They have to do, a little bit more legwork for certain things. You know what I mean? Instead of, oh, would you like a new, blank, whatever? It's kind of well, what does that exactly mean? If, I don't know, when they're saying, do you, what do you think about, the new mage armor, or, the range armor and the raids? I was kind of of course, but, what exactly, you know what I mean? It really depends. Yeah. Is this gonna,
And there's also the problem with, I really love, the armor you're releasing, but I want them to be toned down just 1 or 2%. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I find that's very important. You know what I mean? That's so if they're not gonna, if you know what I mean, I like the armor, but if they're gonna release it the way it is, or if they're gonna release the way it looks, I'm gonna vote no because I want it to look better. The problem is when you vote no, sometimes they'll just, grab whatever that is, crumple it up, and throw it into the garbage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So then they're fuck it, all right, that's not coming out then.
Yeah.
Which, how do you voice, I like this, I want it to pass, but tweaked a bit. And then the problem can be sometimes you're just okay, we'll let it pass, and then we'll complain about the things we want tweaked. Sometimes that can take fucking months.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that's basically it for the updates, and now it's time for, we have our series going on called, Raiding into the New Year, and this is episode 2 of that, well, part 2, I should say, and we're tackling the resources section of the raid. I'm just going to tell you some of the resources that are available, and the levels you need, and stuff like that. Last week, we just kind of gave you the overview of what the raid was about, because it was the update of it, so we just kind of talked about the release of it, and stuff like that, gave our opinions, read through, kind of an overview, a generalization of the raid itself. And yeah, so let's tackle the simple stuff, kind of the shit you'll be doing for the most part in between fights and stuff. So
yeah,
basically you can walk in with your own resources, but once those are gone, which they eventually will be, you're going to need to get your own. So it's really good to have either the levels to have it or people in your party that have the levels so they can get it for you. To get some of the tools needed and stuff like that, there's so within the raid, you'll find scavenger runts and scavenger beasts. And those will basically drop the tools you need to get your resources and seeds and stuff like that, right? So they're basically just, filler mobs, I guess. And you're going to grind those out to get whatever it is you need. So, and a little thing I just wanted to add is that resources will last 30 minutes on the ground. And if you die, you'll drop the raid items, so tools and shit like that, but you won't drop your equipment and stuff that you brought in. Make sense?
Yep.
All right. So, first off, we'll start off with food. Basically, the two ways you're going to be getting food for the most part is through fishing and hunter. The cooking levels go on par with the fishing level that's needed for it, so I'll just mention the levels, and you'll know it's for both of them. So with fishing, you're going to need a fishing rod and cave worms, which are, again, I mentioned before, you get them from the scavengers. In the raid, you're going to notice fishing spots. That's where you can get the fish. Occasionally, you'll see a cave snake, which will take one of your fish, or if you don't have any, it'll damage you. So look out for that. For a hunter, you'll see basically just bats flying around. You can catch those with a net. Pretty straightforward. So the levels required for the tier of the food is the same for hunter and fishing. Same level, heals the same. Identical. Okay? So the tiers are level 15, heals 8, level 30, heals 11, level 45, heals 14, level 60, heals 17, level 75, heals 20, and level 90, heals 23. Alright, next we're going to move on is the farming part. Okay, next we're going to go on is farming. So, for farming, to get the seeds, you can get them through guardian statues and raking. Hold on, I don't know what a guardian statue is. Let me look that up real quick. Guardian statues are basically, you can use telekinetic grab to pull the item closer to you. You might have to use it a few times if there's obstacles. But, yeah, so you can get seeds through that. Or through raking little farming patches, you'll get them occasionally. Seeds take 30 seconds to grow into herbs. The higher farming, the more herbs you'll get. And the better herbs. Level 27, you'll be getting Golpar. 39, Buchu. 55, Noxifier. Right, so won't make sense right now, but the next section we'll be talking about is herb lore. So then, potions can be occasionally dropped by the bosses, but to get the secondaries for the herb lore potions, you can get them from the scavengers. Okay, so the way potions work, there are basically 3 levels of potions. You have weak, standard, and then strong. Within those levels of potions, you each have a set of potions you can make. All right, so you have at level 47, you have it increases. You get the Elder Potion, which is going to increase your attack, strength, and defense. Twisted, which increase your range, and Kodai, which is going to increase your magic. At 52, you get Revitalization, restores your stats and prayer. Prayer Enhance, which regenerates prayer points over time. And Zarek's Aid, which is a Ceridome brew, basically. And at level 60, you'll get the Overload, which you'll need to combine all 3 of the combat potions at level 47 ones, as well as an Noxifier to make it. So if you don't know what an Overload does, it damages you for 15 points. It damages you for 50 damage, but it'll boost your combat stats as much as these work in the different level sets, right? So this one, a weak Overload potion, it gives you 4 levels plus 10% of what it originally is. A big thing I want to note though is every 15 seconds for 5 minutes it'll reapply the boost, and after the 5 minutes you get healed for the 50 points that had originally damaged you. Alright, so for the next level of potions, it's standard. Like I said, they're all the same, they're just better. Okay, so the first set is 59, which is the combat. At 65, you get your, Restore Potion, which restores your stats and prayer, and then your prayer regeneration over time. And your Sarah Brew at 65. 75, you get your Overload, which is 5 levels plus 13%. Which is 5 levels plus 13%. And then lastly, you got the Strong Potions. Level 70 for the combat. Level 78 for At level 78, you'll have your stat and prayer restore potion. Your regenerates your prayer points over time, and your Cerebrew. And then at level 90, you finally have your overload, which is 6 plus 16%. And the last part, really, of the skills and resources you'll be using is construction. So construction construct storage units, which you can use to basically act as a bank to put your, the resources you got previously. Let's say you're going to be spending longer than half an hour in there and you want them to last, then you store them in one of these. So you're going to need planks, which are, again, dropped from scavengers. Level 30, construction will get you 250 capacity. Level 60 is a 500, and level 90 is 1,000. And that's it. That's it for the skills and shit that you'll be using for resources and stuff like that. Fuck. It's getting tongue-tied at the end there. You talk. What's your opinion on that, I guess?
The theme seems to be, like, cap out your skills at 90.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it seems like that's kind of, like, what you want for... Yeah, to be, like, useful in raids.
Sounds about right.
If, like, honestly, if you have 90 herb lore or something, or, like, 90 farming, like, you could get into some good groups that, like... Yeah, because those are, kind of a bitch to get.
Well, for farming, you just need 55 for Noxifier.
Oh, 55? Yeah, sorry.
But again, having 90 will give you a lot of herbs, right?
Yeah. But yeah, like, I don't know. Because, I know, the overloads and stuff are way better at 90. Like, I guess, like, with fishing and stuff, the difference between, like, 75 and 90 is what? Like, you said, 3 hit points? But it's still kind of, it adds up.
Yeah, it is 3 hit points. I could definitely see. It's probably not as noticeable. Sorry, I keep sitting so far back. It's probably not as noticeable as the overload would be. Actually, no, it's probably about the same.
Yeah, but I think if you're looking to do raids and
people want
you want to do it ASAP. Everyone's gonna want you to have max stats. Like, don't be that level 60 in bronze asking like 120s and stuff to raid with them because they're just gonna say no.
Yeah,
but that being said, there are definitely a lot of maxed accounts that have really bad skills and stuff.
Yeah, and the whole
NMC
if you could prod bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. I have a buddy who is pretty much one of those people. Yeah. And, I don't know, putting the time to get the skills up, it's definitely worth it. The fishing, the herb lore, and the farming would, like, really come in handy.
You'll be a huge asset to your team. Probably more so than somebody with just max stats and no high skills.
Well, kind of.
Okay.
Because, like,
as long as you're the only person with all the good stats. As long as you got reasonable combat stats as well.
Yeah, you want to be able to do stuff in fights.
Yeah, it works in my hypothetical though.
Yeah.
So it seems pretty cool. They have they give you a fair amount of items to play around with and figure out how to do the thing. I'm glad to see the constructions there because fucking glad good to see. I'll have a use for level 90. I'll have tons of uses for it, but something I can show off with.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, and I guess I'll just see what your opinion. What do you think about? How do you think they should go about releasing another raid in the future? I know that's probably that's stupid to talk about now, but I was just thinking about it for fun in the shower. How shower thoughts go, and
yep,
I was thinking, how would they release one? Because I almost feel like you wouldn't want it to be. I feel like I'd want it to be the same tier difficulty for the most part as this raid. I wouldn't want raids to be like harder. Like maybe the bosses have harder mechanics, but like you know what I mean. Like I wouldn't want them to have it where in this one you need 99 and you got 99 herb lore for whatever. You know what I mean? I feel like I'd want them to use that in something different than raids. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know. Just because the way like RuneScape is and whatnot, it's kind of like you don't want to make it where you need to have these quests done because everyone's going to bitch about it, right?
Yeah.
So
Like, I was thinking it made
if you-
sense to me when I was thinking about it before. Where, like, yeah, I feel like if they ever released another raid, they should have it just kind of the same resources within that one, but just different bosses and stuff. But now that I'm kind of thinking about it now, I don't know how I justified that making sense. I feel like, no, I should say, I don't know how I justified it not making sense for them to release a higher tier raid.
See, if anything, I would kind of go the opposite. Like, if they were to do another raid-esque thing, like, why wouldn't they do, like, a free-to-play, raid where it's half the amount of rooms and stuff, and different bosses, maybe teasers to what actual bosses you'd be fighting, like something similar, but a lot dumbed down, and then in the end, you just get rune pieces and whatnot, if you do, like, really well. Don't make them as rare as like a twisted bow, but find a good medium, I guess, and have it drop all different kinds of stuff and have it open from like for level 60 or 40s and up.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They could be cool, like short little raids, and I don't know. I think that's how they should do it. Like imagine being a free to play person, and then they introduce this shitty version of a raid, I guess, like this dumbed down version or watered down version. And then you do that for a bit, you get your rune, and then you're like, man, I heard Members has this, but you got to be really high level and have all these crazy stats. And then that would kind of help get people hooked, I guess.
Yeah. Now, I'm completely ignorant, but I'm curious, how many people are playing free to play almost exclusively, and they're like kind of higher levels, and they're not planning to be a member? Because like,
well, I know there's a free-to-play community where they're dedicated to not going members. Like, there's a community that's dedicated to, I'm going to max free-to-play.
Yeah.
But that's a special group of people, I guess. But I think, like, there's a good amount of people that only play free-to-play because they just see it as, like, a free-to-play game, right? Like, they don't really care for members because they've never had a taste of it. They just kind of...
I guess so, and that's all right. Like, RuneScape free-to-play is a solid free game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as free games go. But members is... I guess I just feel bad. I just want to... Like, I don't want to keep them... I don't want to give them too many things to do in free-to-play. I want to bring them over to the members side.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel... the average free-to-play person that doesn't want to go... They don't care to get a bond because they just think RuneScape's all about cutting U's and fishing lobsters and, spending 30 minutes to get back and bank them.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they don't really know exactly what members is all about. They all they know is like, there's a bunch of quests I gotta do, and I hated quests.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, like... Yeah.
Interesting. If you're out there, let us know. We would like to hear your input. It could be just a bunch of Australians who don't want to spend money with a shitty connection.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Actually, they should release next is raids, and then once you complete the raid or something with a certain amount of points, then you get access to Australian servers.
Oh shit!
Give them some incentive.
You could sell Australian servers on the GE. Yeah,
probably. I mean, I know some people that would buy it.
I'd try to buy one probably just to see what it did.
Just so, yeah. Well, I did fucking nothing.
Set up my living room. It didn't change at all. But yeah, okay. So that's raids for you there. Not raids for you, but that was the resource section. Next week we're gonna tackle. What do you say? We tackle everything that's not the bosses, like the puzzle rooms and shit like that?
Yeah, the puzzle rooms, and we're going to be building up to the bosses.
And
so
then we'll do the bosses.
Yeah.
Now what? Wait, what are you doing next week? What are you doing this week?
This week, not much. I got to catch up on sleep. I've been getting like next to no sleep. It's awful. But sleep, a little bit of schoolwork. Probably some more H1Z1 because I've been playing that quite a bit with my one buddy.
Yeah, is it good? I played the culling.
Game.
That game's a lot of fun. In comparison, how is it?
The culling's fun. I hate the melee combat of the culling.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a big fan. I mean, it's fun when you're just dicking around with your friends and stuff, but I find it gets to a point where it's rock paper scissors.
Yeah, exactly.
when someone like actually knows how to fight and stuff, you're just like, oh, I'm gonna attack, and then I'm gonna fake with a block, and then I'm gonna like attack cancel with block, and then I'm gonna stop blocking, and I'm gonna shove, and like you're just kind of throwing out random shit, trying to catch them and figure out how they react.
Yeah, okay.
And plus, I like shooting people.
True.
It's nice, like getting those headshots.
Cool. Maybe I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, it's a fun game. Yeah, actually, I didn't mention this at the beginning, but I don't know what the fuck I was cooking, but I was dicking around with the knife. I was trying to like. I was chopping something up, but I was doing it in a really weird way, and I ended up nicking my finger. But like the way I did it, I didn't slice it. I like stabbed it.
Okay.
And it like, it was on my index finger, like at the top joint.
Oh, okay.
And like, it's not like a big gash, but it was like pretty deep.
Yeah.
And like, oh fuck, yeah. I don't know. It was like super sore for a while. It's still kind of sore. I have like a little first aid kit, so I went and disinfected it and shit, but
Yummy.
yeah, it was pretty brutal. Yeah, I don't know, I forgot to mention that, yeah, I like nicked my finger and yeah, so it's kind of like, it's still pretty sore to like even use and bend, right? Cause I hit like the joint, it feels like.
Yeah, it could probably like have some bruising and shit. Cause I remember I stepped on a nail once and it fucking bruised a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're getting into cooking, I fucking got a waffle maker. I've been making like waffles all week.
Wait, so you've ended up getting a waffle maker?
Yeah, I got like a Belgian waffle maker. And
wasn't Vicky like super against it?
She was until I started making them. I also got a blender. I remember smoothies, but anyways,
oh yeah, that's what you wanted instead of the waffle maker. That's what it was.
I settled and got both. So I've been making different batters all week. Like I'm trying all these different recipes and shit. And I've been fucking up a lot. I've bought so many double ingredients. Like I went out and I was like, let's go buy some flour, and I ended up buying like a giant bag of sugar because I don't know why. I guess it's just they were right next to each other, and I just grabbed it. But like, we have so much sugar now and like baking powder and.
Yeah, I remember. I went to go buy cheese to make a sauce for pasta, and what did I need? I needed oh god, I don't even know what the hell the cheese is called. It's like it's that white shit that you put on like spaghetti.
Oh, the fettuccine alfredo shit.
It's like it's like they come like
cheese.
cylinder tubes,
cheese, right?
Yeah, cheese. Like those cylinder Yeah. I need to get like a block of Parmesan cheese. Okay. And I went to the store and there was Parmesan cheese, and then there was a company that was super closely named. It was like really close to Parmesan, but it was Asiago cheese, and it's like a really heavy cheese.
Oh, really?
And I ended up buying that by accident, and I was like, all right, I got my cheese. My buddy's like, dude, and he like points at it. I'm like, yeah, man, Parmesan. He's like, dude, that doesn't even say Parmesan. And I look, and it was like Parmen or something like that, or Parmesan. Like it was like super close to Parmesan. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, why is this a thing? And then he's like, yeah, it happened to me once. And he's like, yeah, you got Asiago cheese. And I'm like, man, I am not going back to the store. I'm just gonna go with it. And like, the nastiest sauce I'd ever made.
Yeah, it sounds disgusting.
It was so like heavy and cheesy. Oh, it was so gross. But yeah,
I'm trying to think of examples of when I fucking accidentally tried to swap out foods, and
yeah, it's brutal. Yeah, now I just stick to really cookie cutter stuff.
KD?
No, like, I don't know. Like I'll use like online recipes. I actually found a chicken casserole that you used like you use chicken breasts and then 3 different like cream of broccoli, cream of mushroom, and cream of asparagus soup in it.
All right.
And it was like a chicken casserole. It was super weird, but it actually tastes really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty easy to make too, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways.
Good shit. So I think that's hinting for us that we need to get the fuck out of here for tonight.
Yeah. It's getting a little late.
We're
getting a little rambly.
Next, we're going to start talking about how we drink fucking milk from a bag. Alrighty.
Yeah, for real.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Catch you next week. I'm going to start saying that. Catch you next week.
All right, guys. Have a good one. It's a good catchphrase, though.
All right. See you later.
All right. Have a good one.
To stay up to date with show news, RuneScape news, or just shitpost and hang out, you can find us on Twitter at TheWildernessRS. You can feel free to join our Facebook group at facebook.com/TheWildernessPodcast. We also have a YouTube channel set up, so feel free to check us out by just searching the name of the show on YouTube. You'll also see it over at Twitter and on Facebook as well. We also have an email set up, so if you want to get in contact, maybe have some questions or something you want to hear discussed, a story you want to tell us, or just some feedback, you can email us at thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. And we also have a Discord set up. And if you feel like you want to join and maybe hang out and play with some other scapers, just let us know. Send us a message and get in contact and we'll get you in there. Thanks again for listening. We can't appreciate it enough. Have a good night.